fly, go. And fly, go. And fly, go. And fly, go.
Hello and welcome to the NSL Wednesday live stream. How is everybody doing today? I am accompanied by some very familiar faces in the scene. On the bottom of the screen, you can see El Patron himself, Mr. Bird. We have a guy from the Saviors, might even be the guy from the Saviors. We have Tom Wolfs here, and the man behind a lot of strategic plays and a lot of work on second to none, the captain himself, Mr. CQB Junkie. How are you guys doing today?
Very good, very good.
I'm
Good, good.
yeah, I'm fine. I'm tired, but I'm fine. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, it's late, it's late. We're always starting late, so being tired is fine.
Yeah.
So
No, but
we
I'm not. No, no, I'm not tired from the stream. It's just tired from
From the
okay,
work.
long
You
okay.
day of work.
Sign of watching me work.
I'm not saying anything about it right now. Just
Can do that the whole day. Watch other people work.
So
yeah.
we have gathered today to talk about the first NSL Pro Division that happened. It's already been 2 weekends ago, right?
Yep.
It's been 2 weeks ago. We just want to talk about some things that happened, some stuff that we saw, some changes that may have not been adapted to or as of now. And yeah, first of all, I just want to ask Tom and Dimi, how did you guys like it as a player? It was your first time playing the format, the layout, the event.
Yeah, completely different. I mean, it's a whole new game, so it's getting used to it, and I liked it more than I thought I did. So that was positive. But yeah, it's a completely different game,
Surely is.
and a completely yeah. Need to figure out how we're gonna do this.
Yeah, yeah. For second to none, still hard. It looked easy at times.
I know Bert is laughing. I, for us, or let me say more for me and my brother, we were absolutely against it because we were like, oh my God, at our in our stage where we are now changing again, starting from zero, new field layout, new rules, new everything changed, and we were like, oh, not again. But eventually, um, we focused on just doing it, um, prep ourselves. We went for a training session against plague doctors, and we were like, oh, okay, let's see what's gonna happen. And eventually, the day of the tournament, um, we changed the mindset. Like, hey, whatever happens, enjoy the moment. If somebody does a fuck up, for example, no problem, pick it up for the next round and be positive. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what we did. And eventually, I have to admit that this is different. Um, what I love the most is that I don't have to think for the team anymore. Everybody has to think. And that's the main goal right now. That everybody needs to think. Even the player that's dead and is in the death tunnel waiting for the buzzer to push it. So even that is a moment to pay attention. Everything needs to be in focused, and that's different. And I do like it. I'm against the bunkers, but I do like it.
Okay. So you enjoy the format, you don't agree with the layout yet, and you're saying it actually got harder.
I'm just saying this for me, for myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of knee injuries, and the bunkers for me are a little bit on the lower side. And I think for the revs as well, if you're refing, I think 90% of the players are really low,
Yeah.
down their knees.
Yeah.
And for
Yeah.
me, that's a pain in the ass.
Okay.
But For all the others, the 20-year-old guys like Tom, perfect.
Small guys, huh? And, and
Yeah, yeah, indeed.
and the biggest guy in our team is walking on the front, so
No, 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 no. He was almost always in the X on the back home. I saw you guys play.
Yeah.
yeah, no, that was Oliver, huh? Gregory was also meestal was Fruit Weapon Tunnel.
Yeah,
It's well, just my vision on on that weekend was, of course, I knew that it was um, a lot of teams need to get used on a complete new concept and complete new game style, complete new field. But way in my magic ball, I knew that on the moment when teams give it a chance, they cannot ignore that we are talking about a sport, and that is going to be a completely different gameplay and a different thing than it was before.
Yeah.
Um, and I knew that Saturday would be a very hard day. And as I thought, it was it was a it was a hard day on Saturday because a lot of teams need to get used. You saw that people, seeing a seeing a field on a piece of paper, or just see like you show now here, it's not the same than being on that field,
No.
because the angles are completely different, and the the way of the bunkers, they are standing there completely different than how they are on paper. So I knew it would be hard on Saturday. But the only thing I wished, and it came actually through in on Sunday, is that on the moment, and I said that the whole time when we started it, with the board, I said, if the teams are starting to dig it, they're gonna grind it. And I saw this and I saw it happen on Saturday, and I really saw it executed on Sunday, because on Saturday everybody went to the hotel or went home with the force that the experience they had on Saturday, and then they start thinking, and they came on Sunday with actually a plan. There was already a plan that needs to be executed on that level, and then you saw that the fun started in the teams. Even if you lose, even if you win, it doesn't matter. But on the moment when you just keep it up, you will see the beautiness of this gameplay. I was really happy that Sunday was that all the teams were there on Sunday, and I asked actually on all the teams, and everybody said the same. It was everybody needs to get used to it, and but on the end, I think everybody digs it. So and that's where we're hopeful. And of course, I had a lot of negative things before the before the tournament. I mean, it was there was a lot of things like, of course, Junkie was number one. He was he was complaining the whole time. But I asked him, please give it a chance. Give me a chance to prove you, because it's you cannot explain the concept. You need to
No.
play the concept, and that's the difference. And that's the difference between Saturday and Sunday. That was my vision, and I loved it. I enjoyed it for a long time. It was a long time that I really was enjoying the gameplay.
Yeah. I can totally confirm. Like, it was nice watching it. It was nice roughing it. You could see the players adapt to it. Just as you said, it all worked out in the end. And I can talk about myself here. When I heard all the change, I was like, maybe the timing isn't right. Maybe it's a bit too much. We might lose some players on this because it really just it changed a lot. But then when you go on that field to play this mode for just 10, 15 minutes, you just instantly fall in love with it. It's so much fun. It's so much more athletic than it was before. It's more aggressive on either side, from attacking and
You,
defending side. It's just straight up fun.
you need to
Good
think a
job on
lot
that one.
more.
Yeah, you know what? My moment was actually, to be honest, like I really thought that I'm gonna feel bad for the rest of my life for one person. Gave me that feeling, and it was Polo, because he said to me, you ruin my sport, you ruin my life." And and
He ruined it.
my moment was when I saw our Polo there on that field, sliding for a snatch twice, and once he did a snatch. That was like, man, look, Polo always in the back at the bunkers, and now he was in front actually for snatching the flag behind the can. That was amazing. That was great. That was a great moment.
Yeah,
But he doesn't.
But
He
you
doesn't
did
hate
ruin
that
it a
much.
little bit.
Sorry, what do you say?
I said I said you did ruin it a little bit.
Yeah, he doesn't hate me that much anymore. He still hates me a little bit, but not big anymore.
Uh,
okay. I even heard you commentating once. Like, Bert just said he really enjoyed watching the games, and I have never seen or heard him pop off that much uh, as he was doing it this weekend. And there was one moment, I will show some other moment on camera soon, but there was one moment that I don't have prepared right now that I can totally recall. Is him being upstairs, being super happy about how Polo just swims through this field. Because this guy came to the field on the weekend, was like, I hate this layout. There's only one big bunker that I can play. I really don't like it. And he just destroyed people on this field. He just went flying from left to right, and as Bert said, just forward to that can, grabbed that flag, outplaying and outmoving people. It was such a joy, and you could totally hear it in Bert's commentary that weekend, that he enjoyed this big guy just flying through the field and crushing or stomping on these smaller ones that are hiding somewhere else. Yeah,
It's freaking Zeus, freaking Zeus over that field, like
yeah,
2 meter 50 high, 2 meter 50 wide, and then and he could hide between the bunkers, and so people thought he was a bunker. No, me, Polo, sliding to the flag. That
yeah.
was amazing.
It was really
It was
great.
it was amazing.
Okay. Before we hop into any kind of gameplay, I kind of want to talk about a new addition that we had on the field as referees that really made all of this easier for us as referees. Um, and I think we can show this on stream right now. So I'll just do it for now, and then we get further into what it actually was, how it changed our game, and what we really saw in these games. So, if you guys didn't know, just a quick preparation before I start this video. For us as the referees, we used a voice communication system for the first time while reffing, namely BattleLink, and it provided us with in-ear headphones and a microphone without push-to-talk buttons, so that we could just talk on field to the other refs, and it completely changed the way that we ref the game. It made it way easier. But without further ado, I'll just click into the video. Something's not right with my screen here, as I can see. Let me quickly fix that. And then I'm going to jump into the video. After that, we'll talk about more gameplay. Let's see. This should be about right. Alrighty.
3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, I'm Bert. I'm the owner of the Ritz Arena. For more than 3 years, we organized SpeakerB. Well, SpeakerB is a really nice format, but I wanted to get away from the team deathmatch situation. We really want to accept it as a sport, and that's why I brought a board together and we created the NSL, the Nations Speed League. NSL is a new concept with a new format that we launched this weekend.
The most challenging part for me right now is mostly getting the players used to the new formats, making sure everybody gets the rules, does the things right.
3, 2, 1.
The players progressing and adapting to this new game. You can see that the refs are also adapting and trying to do the best to get the gameplay the best for the players as well.
What I wanted is more a dynamic gameplay where you have, as a defense team, you have to go for offense to defend your time, or you have to defend and get your snatch. So it brings much more dynamic into the gameplay. You have much more to think about. Before you go on that breakout wall, you need to know with your team what is your plan, or defending plan, or your offense plan. We have a new clock system, we have a new penalty system, we have a new point system, and that's the difference. And I really want to see this develop this year, and I hope next year we're going to bring this worldwide.
The reffing for this game is kind of hard because the players are moving a lot.
So we're constantly moving, constantly paying attention, 2, 3, 4 players at the same time. checking lanes, seeing where can the next PV come from. You're listening into the call-outs, you're moving accordingly, and it's a lot of physical things to do, but then at the same time, your mental has to stay calm.
We have battling, and battling is a new thing where we can get in communication directly with the other refs on the field, and it works perfectly. Normally you have a lot of hiccups, and now in this moment, because you have a direct communication with your head ref and the head ref on the fields with the side refs.
Pull him. Yeah, penalty.
Today, yesterday, we have 7 refs. They are split into, let's say, 2 groups. We have the group of the breakout wall refs, so it's 2 refs on either side. They do the breakouts, they stay on the back of the fights. And then we have 3 refs scattered around.
We can communicate real good now. We don't have to run to other refs for confirmation or anything. For example, the head ref, he can see much more because he's a bit higher up and he can direct us. It's really helpful to get more overview of the whole gameplay, and communicate for refs is also important as for players.
It's really comfy, it's so easy to use, and yeah, I don't know why we didn't use this earlier. It's amazing. It just makes the job way easier.
All right, that was the battling video.
Very nice.
Hey guys, my name is Jorik.
That wasn't planned. This was one too much. Where did I put this? Okay.
I think it's a Dutch company, isn't it?
I think it is. You can tell by the bright yellow. I can not get the screen off anymore.
Orange.
Did I say yellow? Yes, I mean orange. I'm sorry.
Yeah, orange, yeah.
Something is not... Oh, there it is. Okay, this has to go off. There you go. So we heard a few words in the video from Bert himself as well, explaining that we had a new format and that a lot of things changed. And then we talked to the referees and them telling us about how they implemented all these changes and how they worked around it with these new voice comms. Because for us as referees, it's been really tough as well. There has been a lot of rule changes, a lot of things to look at now. Who has the flag? Where did it go? How far did he go? Did he make it in time? When did the buzzer get pressed? And so on and so forth. And that just really helped us a lot to, as referees, stay on top of this chaotic madness that was the Saturday morning.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was like I felt like a newborn. You know, it was like this makes things so much easier. It's really something that I can only speak now on this moment as for the ref team. That's needed, but I can imagine how it's needed in the sport or in the airsoft community. It's really something that's unique, and it makes life and gameplay so much easier. And yeah, as now normally we have to run from ref to ref or to the head ref, and now it's just staying where you are, communicate in your helmet. Everything is in your helmet, and you don't have to run. You have a direct line with all the refs there, and the head ref and the one upstairs. So yeah, that was really yeah, a new world that opened up, and yeah, from now on we only use BattleLink. We only use BattleLink and ref, and I hope there will be a good close concept for teams too in the future. But I really think this is going to be amazing. This will be amazing. It's going to be an amazing stuff in the airsoft world.
Yep. It surely helped out a lot, and as I said at the end of the video, why didn't we use this earlier? It makes things so much more easy.
It is, and but again, sometimes you have to wait for a good idea, and this is actually a good idea that sometimes it just doesn't need to be very hard or very it's just this is a simple way of thinking on solving a big problem with a simple solution, and that's Link is a great solution.
Yeah.
Would be nice for the players, so you have a voice after the weekend.
Yeah, as I said, some things needs to be upgraded. I think I hope they will bring one for the sport too, where communication when you go off field or where the communication is gone, or but something will be there, or that the channel that's open, that's always we as one ref can always hear the communication. So if there will be some communication between them after somebody's going off, you will have a problem. So we need to fine tune that, or they need to fine tune that.
Of course,
Uh,
but you don't
but
have dead people talking.
Yep.
yeah, but I think it's I think they definitely will find a solution for that. And man, can you imagine? Can you imagine
Big
NSL
army.
no screaming, and it will just in the mask talking is going to be more exciting. It's going to be much more exciting. It's
Like
yeah,
military tactics.
yeah. Like the idea again. It's an amazing concept, and Battlelink. I think you're going to hear from that brand in the upcoming months more and more and more and more.
Yeah. How did you guys like it from a player's perspective? Did you realize that like the refs had an easier job, less walking, less time in between games or something? Did you guys realize it as players that something was different on the refs?
Yeah, I think you obviously saw that the communication was better. You saw that the timing was better, everything was smoother. You don't have to, you didn't see them run like every time. So yeah, I think you definitely saw it.
Okay. Nice, nice. All right. We saw some video footage in that battling video already. I think we talked about the product now. We know it's good, but we now want to hop into more of the actual gameplay action. And before the battling talk, we talked about Bert popping off and being happy about some things. And I have a video prepared here where the round itself, it's just pure fire. Like, enjoy the round. But afterwards,
Seven.
7 cents exactly. But afterwards,
Yeah,
I'll keep it running for a few more seconds and just listen to Bert's reaction. It's priceless. So this should work.
Are looking at the stream and get studied because you need a different way of tactics. But they will get it. They will get there. Everybody will get there. You know, training is going to be a lot. But you need to do more homework. It's a different. Oh, look, 7 Sins understands how it works. Oh, and he's got a 2-pointer there. That's what I mean. You still have the chance. Look. That's chaos. Oh my goodness. 2-point. Look. Bang. 12 boys, that's it. I'm sorry, I have to clap for that. This is weird, this is making me excited.
He's completely destroying everything up there. He's just banging on the walls and table. I can see him like, yes!
people were watching me. People were watching, and I was banging on the glass. I was banging there, and people were like, "Is there something happening? Is there something there?" And but it was just me. I almost had a boner like that. It was like, oh, this is what you really want to have there. That was not only the moment that they did it, but the effort was on the end. There were only 17 seconds left, and with this thing, they pulled the game to them. You know, it was all or nothing, and that's what NSL is, in my opinion, and I think many people in the board who was with me, and this is what we wanted, and this is what we want to create in the sport, and this was one of the tactics. Let's say you are 10, 11 behind 1 point, and you only have 20 seconds. What do you do? Well, this is what you do. This is what you do to take the game to you. And I was so excited. I was really, I was.
And you have the advantage, you have time enough to take the flag then.
Yeah.
Because you can't press the buzzer.
It was amazing. It was typically. I think you're going to see this more and more and more on the end where there is 6 points or where there are 9 points or 10 points difference.
Mm-hmm.
So that you only have this chance to win the game, and an explosion like this, of course, teams will gonna be prepared for that, because the other team was not prepared on this, but it was like, yeah, using the battleground where and using the time
But
where
but you have to be careful with actions like this because in such a rush, in such a hurry, with hits you,
yeah, but
you,
that's
you,
but again, it's not my problem. It's
no,
your
no, no,
problem.
no, of
Not my
course.
problem. And on the moment when we get that, it's your problem. Your problem is
Yeah,
getting
of course. But
first.
you have to be watch out.
I don't want to take care of that. You have to take care of that. You are the players.
Yeah,
You have
I mean
Yeah.
for the players, yeah, of
no,
course.
but that's something I really want to say really clear, is that it's always like, no, we have to watch out for that. No, you have to. You are the
Yeah, I
players.
mean like if we and player, as in we are players.
Okay, no, but it's like, I think these actions, it's needed, like it's football or
Yeah,
soccer
of
or
course.
soccer.
Yeah.
Some people are taking the keeper out of the goal and going for the last seconds, try to make that goal. That's a risk, but it's always their responsibility. And sometimes you get a goal, one more extra goal against you. But that's the risk you need to take, and need to make your defense ready for that, and to make your offense right for that. And if you're not taking your hit in a rush like that, yeah, that's the problem. It all belongs to the game. You need to take your hit when you feel the hit, even if you run. And we see it
Yeah.
right there. And let's be honest, when you get a first degree penalty on this moment, you feel it. It's, it hurts. I mean, I don't know if people in your team had a first degree penalty, but
Uh,
no, it did. But there were some teams who had a first degree penalty. I mean, you can't play as a player that match anymore, and then the match after that you can't play anymore, and you can only play, and you need to start with 4 people on the breakout wall for 3 games. So
yep.
it's so hard punished.
Yeah.
So when you do this in the early game, in the first try, let's say in the first try, so actually when it starts on the Sunday, you cannot play on the whole Sunday anymore. So I think it's all with you guys. It's all there, and we need to adapt the gameplay, and we need to adapt, and we need to know, and of course. But this is amazing. Come on, guys. This was a moment
Yeah,
where,
it was a
like,
cool game, of course.
yeah,
Yeah, it was absolutely great. Well played. From a rest perspective, nobody saw a hit that wasn't called during that round. You can see players mid-run calling it. So for us, from a rest perspective, that was a clean round.
that was a
And
very clean round. Look, everybody walked out. Everybody walked out.
yeah,
Everybody was there was no there was no, if you see the replay or any, it went so fast, but everybody took a hit right there, and I really thought that the fair play was was good and high, and again, everybody needs to get used to it. But if you bring me this every weekend, man, I'm gonna enjoy again. So yeah,
and
Let's-
then it's exactly the next round afterwards. We had the Saviors playing, and they were low on time as well. I think the clock shows 4 seconds right now. I'm not sure if that is correct. But let's take a look at Savior's rush attempt and maybe have Tom walk us through the idea.
Yeah, the idea was kind of the same. We were points behind, and it was like, yeah, all or nothing. And at our point, there was nothing. So yeah, that was not the best case scenario. And yeah, you see it, see what happening. I think Wesley got to the 2 point line, but he himself wasn't over it, so the flag was at the 1 point
Yeah,
zone, I think.
the flag is still on the outside of the Dorito here. So he didn't
Yeah,
make it
yeah,
over zone 2, he was like one step in front of it.
yep. And we lost the game at 1 point, so that was very, very, very pity. So if you got it 1 meter further, then we had
that
it
was against,
equal.
that was against the Reapers, no?
It was
No,
against
I
the
think
Reapers,
it
yeah.
was. Oh, well, a Reapers.
Yeah, it's the Reapers.
That was
Dahlia in
that
the
was a
end
good
It
picked
was
up the
game.
also
flag for the
game.
snitch.
I think that was a really good and close game. This was. But it
Yep.
was a really, really tactic game, and it's the same like the other game was the Reapers against Alpha team. That was a
Hmm.
good game. They lost that one, I think, but
Yeah,
that was
Reapers lost it. Yep.
yeah, but that was those were really two good games. I enjoyed those games.
We, actually, we lost all the games of the weekend, but it was like 2 points of one flag hanging less or more. Like everything was very close, but yeah, everything was just not enough. But the games were good, and I think we will become back. So
Oh yeah, and you missed
for
some
sure.
people in your team, huh, that weekend or not? You missed
Yeah,
some.
we missed our captain. We missed Stefan, and of course you can't rely on a team on one player. But yeah, I missed him, and we had one new guy in the team, and I'm very glad with the guy that he came and he helped us and he did a great job. But yeah, it's not like a guy who plays PTB for 3 years. So yeah, you you miss a player in the team for sure. But I think we did a good job, and also Nick, who's the guy, Nosy, I think he's called, and I think he did a good job, and he will be there for the second tournament, so we will see.
But
What
where do
we
you
can
think
do.
this game? Where do you think you lost this game?
The Reapers.
Well, yeah, no. Where do you think you won this game? I'm sorry. Where do you think you won this game?
Yeah,
You didn't won. I know, but where do you think
um,
you lost it again? I'm now I'm confused. You lost this game against the Reapers. So
mhm.
where do you think again? Repeat. Where do you think you lost this game? Where do you think? What do you think? Where was
I
the?
think I think yeah, the Sabres yeah, as a defensive team, I think. And yeah, you see that on the field, and we need to adapt to that. If you're defending, you actually are attacking. So we just need to play more aggressive. I think that's something we have to work out. But we tried it a couple of times and it didn't work out that well. So I think, yeah, like I said, we are a defensive team, and I think we need to change that. We need to find that switch and go forward instead of stay back. Because
But
if
what
you
was your actually plan now in this game? Was your plan okay? Let's go forward and we see what's going to happen, or did you really had a plan?
No, we really had a plan, and at least with attacking with the flag. At defense, it was more like fun. Yeah, just try to go as forward as quickly as possible. Try to go forward as quickly as possible, and then see. Yeah, try to get the snatch or get the flag, or at least hold the guys up so they can score the flag hang. But then you see you're at home and you're one of the last guys at home, and you're still staying at home, and you think, no, I have to move here, but then you're too late and you're stuck. And then yeah, and if they kill you at home, yeah, then you're basically they have to hang because 99% of the chance the flag is near your home or you're near your 70 line.
Mhm.
So if
What
you are behind in the field and you're the last player, yeah, you're fucked.
what is offense in your opinion in a situation like this?
Offense, yeah, it's in my eyes, it's yeah,
Good question. Huh?
um, yeah. Also try to go forward as quick as possible, but not directly with the flag because the risk of then getting the snatch it's also high. So you want to have to flag something and yeah, around the 50, but not directly over it, and then with the kill of the last player, of course, that you have to. I think the second or the third guy who's in the row needs to carry the flag. I think, in my opinion, because the guy who walks in front can get killed too easily, in my opinion. At least if you have a 5v5 situation.
Yeah, we always start 5v5. So you it will
Yeah, but
always.
if you are in the beginning of the game, let's all survive the breaks or 5v5. But if you are at a later stadium in the game, like with 4 against 2, yeah, then you can take the risk. But
Mhm. What
I
is
see
your
the,
opinion
the
for that?
I see. Wait, I have a question for Alunk.
Yeah.
I'm watching your live stream,
Hmm.
and I see all these comments, but I don't see it on YouTube.
It's on Twitch, I think.
That's weird, because I
I
have the
think it's
stream under my
on Twitch.
camera. It should be right
Yeah,
there.
but you have Restream, and in Restream you see the comments from Twitch and from YouTube. But you are watching YouTube, Dimi. You have to open the Twitch channel too,
What
and then
what
you
is the
see.
Twitch channel? Because I'm looking
Real
for it, but
Strike
I don't.
DE, I think. Wait,
Ah, okay.
now I just destroyed completely the camera setup. Yeah, Real Strike underscore DE.
And
I have it.
there are the comments normally spoken.
Okay. Now, you guys were talking about where to position the flag on the field, and I was just scrolling through some video footage here and found a round of second to none where Dimi is actually the flag carrier. And I think what those guys have been doing is kind of, in my opinion, just been one weekend, but in my opinion, should be the go-to strategy. And I'll just
Yeah.
put it up on stream, and maybe Dimi can talk a bit about it. He's going to see it for the first time as well. So we have a game against RCKT here. Let me start this from the beginning. On breakout wall, you can never tell who has the flag. In this case, you can see Dimi has it in his left hand.
Yeah.
It's without sound right now, because we can see him instantly going for the mid Dorito. So you're sitting pretty much at the center of your half of the field here with the flag, having to look at way too many angles, but still, is that the spot for the flag in your opinion, Dimi?
No, no. For me, this was just how do I explain this? Because the flags or went almost to the sides or plexi side, sometimes snake side, and I was like, okay, I will bring it to center, and it's also a focus to the player, my team players, that I have to bring the flag as far as possible, but not on their side of the field like you see right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm dead, the flag is there. So the players behind me need to follow up and pick up the flag. What actually did not really happen.
I think
Yeah.
this game you just
Oh, this is another round. Okay, this is another
yeah
round.
you're just not dying this round, but we could see already like 10 seconds earlier is as soon as you make that bump into the castle, your other players start moving up. I think this is McSwain now moving up to the Dorito. On the other side, we
Yes.
have Rebel slowly creeping towards the Plexi. And all of the sudden, you just created a line on the 50, and that's your moment to push.
There you
Yes.
see it really good. There is the 50 from the snake. Extra pushers coming there, and this is how you need. I think this is the
Yeah,
way to go to.
Yeah, of course.
When you're in offense.
just this moment. Look at how they're positioned. They have both outside lanes, and then they have two guys pressuring through the middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, on the end, they did a double kill right there. So the only one in the U is over, and it's the last one that's there. So yeah,
Yeah, I had another game in my mind because I did something similar and I died at the middle Dorito and I left my flag there. But this was another game.
Mm-hmm. And
yeah,
yeah. No, I just
you
thought that on a strategic level, you guys adapted pretty well and pretty fast to the new layout. I think
they
I've.
say that the video is not in the stream. Is that correct or?
Oh god damn it. Okay, we will show it again. It wasn't on stream. That's my bad.
They would-
Because I have to like tune it in and out every now and then to look at other seconds. Okay, I'll just redo the round from the beginning. There you go. Sorry, stream.
Jimmy,
Now you see it. I'll put on sound for this time then.
Jimmy, click on stream Aaron's screen, and then you see the comments too. If you don't see the rest, not Aaron on Tim's screen.
So yeah, what we're talking about is Dimi sitting on the backside. It's actually the center middle Dorito with the flag, trying to get some control. And then as soon
Honestly,
as you see him moving forward into the castle, I mean, you could already see young one here, sneaking through the snake, creating some space.
I was Bente.
Oh, that was meant in that case. Okay. But as soon as Dimi moves forward, you can see his team just moving up to him, and then they cross the 50 line together.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Moving up with the whole team, huh?
Yeah, but the
Exactly.
first move, look at the first move who starts the move, because someone is still behind in the last Dorito in the back line. Look, Dimi is going, and now they know they have to move up. So he's actually giving the lead right here, give to get in position. And now you saw McSwain is coming on at the 50, and then it's just waiting for Rebel, and Rebel is now on his position, and now they go. Looks easy when you look at it, when you see it like this,
Yeah,
but
it really does.
it's strategy, good strategy. This is how you need to play it.
And the communication is very important, huh?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Communication is
We
is,
had a
every, is
situation.
actually everything.
We had a funny situation where you see Wesley run, and then and mid in his run he got killed because he was like it was G4, but it was G3. So it was a miscommunication from us, and he didn't expect the player, so he got shot out.
It's
And
Dimi, what was your what was the goal before you started that? Was this executed like you planned it, or was there
Yeah,
something changed in there?
my goal was actually um like you have the um like the flying V, right? So
Hmm.
I was the point,
Um,
the player that was center but forest
Hmm.
in the attack. And the thing is like I said before, and I had another game in my mind. I was like, if I'm dead, I have like four players behind me that have complete view over the flag. But in this case, like I said, like I'm going to the front and I will wait there. I will push as much as I can, and the players flank left, flank right need to go up to the 50 with me. Then we have like the whole 50 covered, and that's when the communication really starts coming in. Like, where is the last player? What G did we count? Like Tom said, the Gs are very important now in this game. Actually, in all games, but the Gs are very
yep,
important, and especially if there is one alive. Yeah, you have to
you know that.
move up. Don't kill him. Move up, because if you kill him and they push the buzzer, you have zero point 0.5 seconds to go
Yep.
to the other side of the field. Not 3 seconds,
yeah.
but
Let's
0.5
Yep.
seconds.
That's what I said a couple of times with the defense. I say if you are the last guy in the team with defense and you stand behind home or the block or the Rito in the back, just move your ass up because if they kill you there, they have to hang.
Yeah.
That that's the way it
Yeah,
works. Because they can move up,
it's
just rush them.
and you saw that in the beginning, because I saw some gameplays. I don't know if you saw that, Tim, but it was like sometimes you, because when you see it from the side or you see it as a ref, we look more to the clock than players do,
Yeah, for sure.
and 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 sometimes you really don't. I didn't have any clue what they were doing. Like they were behind and they were not going for for a fight, because the only thing you lose is double lose when you're a defense and you're behind and you're waiting out. They
Yep,
take time of you, and you're the problem is when you go for it and you try to get the snatch or you try to get that, they don't at least don't get time. The only thing that can happen that they score 12 more points, but they cannot get more time of you, because time here is the most important key. Is
Yeah.
is one of the most important keys. And sometimes I really saw like they were just 3 points behind and they were waiting out. They really just needed to go and try to get the snatch. If not, they had a second chance.
Yep.
But in their first chance, where the other team starts with their try, they were defending and they were 3 points behind and they were waiting. And I thought, what are they doing? What are they doing? And that's what Dimi said. Everybody needs to think now. It's not only one person who needs to think in the team. Everybody needs to think.
Yeah.
And I think it will come there in week and months. But on the end of the year, everybody understands this, and we have a different gameplay there. But that's the magic that's going to happen. What I think is going to happen, and but yeah, defense is actually on the moment when you're behind only 3 points. It's actually more offense to get
Defense is more attacking.
yeah, but to get your try back to make points again.
Yep.
Yep.
What do you think, Tim?
Yeah, I'm thinking especially of a play. I think it was Alpha versus Second to None when Max Wayne was behind the plexi. Let me
We
pull up.
didn't play Alpha.
Oh no, then I can't remember who it was against. But if you guys can see my mouse on screen, I hope you can.
I think you're Terra Knight.
Was it Terra
It was a
Knights?
1v1.
It was a 1v1 with Max Swain at the Plexi and the other player
Yeah,
at the, I think it was this Dorito or the block, I can't remember. It might have
yeah,
been
it
the
was
block,
block.
but they were just looking at each other for a minute and even longer. Whereas second and none had the flag, they were on the aggression, they were ahead in points, and the other team just had to grab that flag as fast as possible to even make it to another offensive round. And he was just staring at the plexi for a minute straight while all refs were like, is he not looking at the clock? What are they doing? He needs to push. Like
Exactly.
it's this mindset that we had all through all these years. Like cannot die. I need to shoot this guy, then I win the round. I get our points. It's not how it works anymore. We're not playing
The
team
good thing
deathmatch
about,
anymore, and that switch needs to change in players' heads.
the good
Indeed,
thing
indeed.
about that, Tim, the good
But
thing about that was that offense, second to none, was offense on that moment, and Harry didn't have the flag. He was playing that game too. He was playing the 1v1 too,
Yeah,
because you hear with me saying like, I love the style he did there. It was very arrogant, but on the end, you see when he grab his head like, oh, I forgot the flag, because
exactly.
it's not about that 1v1. It's about picking up that flag, going up to the 50, and on the moment when you get shot, at least try to get 1 point, But that again, it needs to be trained, it needs to become a natural thing in this game, and you can't expect in the first weekend that people adopt this in no time, because let's be honest, there was no time for training, there was no time for that, and luckily everybody started at zero, and that's the good thing about it.
Yep,
Nobody, everybody started at zero. There was not somebody who could only, not teams like they could train for weeks, or no, it was everybody started at zero.
yep. And you could tell that everyone started from zero. Cause just look at the scoreboard. For me personally, it feels mixed up. It was not the order that I had expected it, especially for the Saviors. 0 points. All games were close, but I think they are the perfect example. Like every game is super close, and even teams where that you know for 3 years and where you expect them to perform, they have to start from scratch. And
Yep.
you cannot say who's ending top three at the end of the season right now, because so much can change still.
Tom was
Before the
training.
tournament, I said we're gonna have an interesting leaderboard, and I think we have. So
Yeah, we do.
we have to fix that.
Yeah, and I like it.
Yeah,
It's well, I think. Are you
doesn't have
ashamed?
to be easy, yeah.
It's I see like Vinitas. He said like, I thought you were. Yes, we're gonna paint the lines on there, but that day it was freezing cold, and if we did it, everybody had orange clothes, and we did small lines, and Tim had to dry them in the evening, so they will not be paint on people's pants. So we said we decided to make small lines, so the next event there will be complete lines on the whole field, where you see where is the 50 and the first one zone 2 and zone 3.
That's
I
what I
saw it
mean.
in the
You see the comments. I don't see any comment. That's so weird.
Well,
I
when you click on the stream from Tim, as I said in our Discord, when you click there, you see the comments underneath his screen. I see it there.
That's what I
YouTube.
see.
no,
This
I
time
think what
hopefully.
you see are the live comments from the videos that I'm showing. That's like the
Oh,
Aussie Dodo saying me
Oh
sir, and
yeah.
that's from the Sunday stream. That's not the live chat. If you
Oh
want to
yeah.
see
I
the
saw. I
live
saw.
chat, you need to go to either
Yeah.
Maybe
YouTube
YouTube
or
tells you all
Twitch.
about it for this.
I thought video was.
Kurt,
asking things like
stay
that.
away from the Havana. You're making me crazy.
Timmy, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me.
No,
Don't
no,
listen to me.
like this. I don't know if you guys can see now. This would be the live chat. You would have to
Yeah, yeah, of
click on either
course.
YouTube or Twitch, then open the chat window, and that should all be in there, including the restream. So it always says Twitch or YouTube in front of the name, and then sends the message.
I was
Yeah, Mr. M is here in
confused.
the chat. Yeah,
Alrighty.
don't drink Havana. Drink clear water.
We had another major addition to the new rule set that only applies in Pro Live though, but that would be the 1v1 plays. And the 1v1s, in my opinion, is a completely different game. You need yet again, a completely different mindset for that. And you need some players that actually specialize in these situations. And we just looked at the video before from Second to None where they moved forwards and Demi was able to hang the flag there, and when the attacking side hangs the flag, you go into a 1v1 for more extra points. And I'm gonna just use that exact 1v1 as an example right now. It's going to be between Young One and is this Mr. Krabs from RCKT? I think it is. So I'm just gonna go through that, and maybe Demi, you can talk us about the mindset that you guys had in these 1v1s on the attacking side, or what do you think um, needs to be thought in these situations? I'll just go over it first.
Yeah.
Have it still on? Oh, it's all fine.
Yeah, it's good.
So Young One is on the attacking side here.
Cool,
Nice.
cool, cool, cool.
And that all happened without a single kill. So it's
Can
just
you imagine?
movement.
Can you imagine what smile I had that weekend? You know, this is completely different. And the total picture. Now I see everything in there. If you see like this sport grows so fast, and it even the video. You know, it's you can follow the game much easier. And yeah, I'm really proud of what we all did in there.
So what we saw here from Young One is he makes one massive move straight at the 50 line, and he parks at the Dorito for a while, makes sure he has some control, he has the lanes covered that he could be shot from, and then just a second massive move straight onto the wall, out moving his opponent.
Very risky move, but you need to have balls. No balls, no glory. You know.
Yeah. And you can see on the clock when he touches the wall, he still had 10 seconds left. So he was on a pace. He was really going fast there.
Yep.
But that's what these 1v1s are about. You have 30 seconds as an attacker, and your only objective is to touch the enemy's breakout wall. If you die,
Oh,
if you shoot him, it doesn't matter. You have to touch that wall, otherwise you're not getting points. And I guess I
definitely.
didn't show it on screen again because I fucked up, so we will just look at it another time.
Tom, did you play a 1v1?
Yeah, I played
How,
2 or 3, I think.
how is that feeling on that when you're on that
Right
wall?
back.
Looking nervous. Yeah,
Dimi, how is
at
that
least
feeling? You're not getting nervous. I know you get pumped with these things, you know, but how is that feeling? How do you, on the moment when you're on that breakout wall, come on, bring us, take us with you. Come on.
The way I play the 1v1s, I'm like I'm just gonna mess with their minds. It's like the other guy on the other side of the wall, they see a player moving from bunker to bunker but coming towards them. It's like the predator, visible, not invisible, visible, not visible. And I know that when I'm coming closer to them, I feel that I see them getting like panic mode, like shit, what now? Because I'm stuck. And that's what most of the times happened. And I have to play with this. And this is pure mind games. It's like sneak peek over here, and you're moving over there. Eh, I'm for the 1v1s, I'm having fun. I'm really
Uh,
having
but but the time, how important is that time? I mean, time is important. It's only 30 seconds. You need to to to
To
clear
rush.
it in 30 seconds. Do you think about the time, or you just go and you see what's happening?
no, I don't think about the time. If you
No,
go, no, not at all. It's not like, okay, I have 10 seconds left, I have to push. No, no, I don't think about the time.
but
Anytime.
you, no, but what
No.
you do is on the moment when you start, you go to one bunker, you take overview. On that moment, you already move to the second bunker. So
Yeah,
when it's 20 seconds, you're already, well, before the 20 seconds, you're already at the 50. That's how your tactic worked at the last times. And then on that moment, you take an overview, you do a scan on that moment, and then you make your big move, because then you only need one more bunker or maybe two more bunkers to make your to get your predator right there. But it's yeah, it's different, because some 1v1s I saw too, where they really didn't have any idea with the time, but they stayed behind. They kept playing. Like, do you remember the 1v1 game between Kenny and McSwain?
during the monk games.
Yeah, the Mon
Oh.
games. They were staying behind on the bags.
That was
That
I have to apologize for Kenny and McSwain, but that was one of the most boring 1v1s I've ever saw.
yeah, but a 1v1 needs to be exciting. A 1v1 needs to be
Yeah.
like, and that's the adrenaline of the 30 seconds. And some games you saw that people didn't had an idea that it's only 30 seconds, because they were shooting at the
Yep.
bunker, and then it was yeah, 30 seconds, you need to go. You need to get those two extra points. And what you saw in the video, when the young one, he didn't thought about it. He saw his moment. He saw that, and he just went for it. And yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
High risk, high reward, eh?
yeah,
yeah.
young one
Yep.
did good, did great. Um, but because he's new to our team,
Hmm.
and I already told him, you do the 1v1. If you mess up, you mess up. Don't worry. The the 0 points, you already have the 0 points. The only thing you can do is get extra 2 points. So it doesn't matter if you lose. Just go with confidence, do it. I gave him some strategies for the 1v1s. He executed very well, but you have to guide them as well. You have to tell them, like, do this, that's your second move, and go to your third move. And he did exactly what I told him to do. What he did at the end, that was up to him, but he did really good. He did really good.
Yep.
There's one positive side on the weekend. We had a couple of 1v1s, and I think in the whole weekend we lost just two of it, defense or attacking side. So that was at least some positive input. I think all the attacking tries was cringe. I think he won them all, and I myself did two defense 1v1s, and then it's just the defense side. It's important to just don't lose the attacking. Yeah, don't lose your opponent in the eye. Just know where he is.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing. So what you saw with Rocket and Young One, he's lost him. He didn't know where he was.
Yep.
That's why he won it, and that was a good move, of course. That's what you want to get.
Definitely.
But it's
So,
also hard to do it within the 30 seconds, so you have to move it.
so do you guys have like a defensive 1v1 specialist and an offensive one, or do you use the same guy for either side? Or is there like a top three and you just go rock, paper, scissors, who's about to do it?
No, 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 not rock paper scissors. At our yeah, our team just was the setup was like cringe first, defense or attacking doesn't matter. And if he didn't feel like it or was tired or something, then I would jump in because we were we yeah he and I were the players who know the field at best, and we had trained it two times, and the rest of the guys were pretty new. So, but I think at the Savers, Cringe will stay doing it, at first option.
Mm-hmm.
But it was yeah, I was thought about it, just not was from oh yeah, let's do it. Just no, there was a plan behind it, and I think he did a pretty good job so far. So
Yeah. Second to none. Same thing.
No, for me it's important that look, I can play defensive and offensive part, but it's important that you gain trust and confidence to the players because if I'm on the field for the 1v1, I'm confident to do it. I need to give confidence to the others. For example, if Tom says Cringe is doing the 1v1, if he gets injured, who's the next one? He's not prepared. So in our case, I did the 1v1, Rebel did the 1v1, Young One did the 1v1, Polo did the 1v1. So actually, I prepare my guys like you have to do the 1v1s. Learn the field, learn the covers. You move to the right side, learn that cover as well. So this is only this will benefits all of us as players because if I take all the 1v1s and for a sudden moment I get injured and another player needs to fill my spot, he's not prepared. He's like, okay, he doesn't have the flow of the 1v1 because Rebel in the beginning, he did a 1v1. He lost the game because he didn't understand the 1v1 part. He was
Yeah, you're right.
he was attacking, but at the same time defending, and he lost track of time, and we lost the 2 points, extra bonus points. But next time I told him, Rebel, it's not
Go, go.
defending, it's attacking. Go forward. If you are at their 50, execute. If not, no problem. But 2 extra points is 2 extra points. It's extra points. You have to go with the mindset like it's 0-0. No problem.
Yep.
If I lose, I lose, no problem.
Oh, I think that's a
No
good
ball.
mindset.
but in our case, it was also just like yeah, the other guys haven't seen the field, so there was just for this tournament that was the case. But I know what you're saying, but that will be all right.
Yeah.
Bet
Well,
you were
that
gonna
was
say
my
something.
input on the one.
No. I I was saying you're right.
Okay.
The only thing I can say is that because I think it was here that people asked for more scores or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the only score things I can say now is like we gather some data right now. You know, we gather hangs and we gather snatches and we gather the points you scored and the total points and and we're going to make this more and more, so we're going more in detail in the future, like player detail, like what players getting the most snatches, what players getting the most hangs, um, and we hope we can do this with kills, etc., when we all get it organized as we want. But on this moment, we already have the points that you scored on that moment, and we have the total points of all the points you scored in all the games, and we have the amount of snatches, and we have the amount of hangs. So I can give a quick a quick overview because on Friday we have this already, but for interested in that, like now the scores are now on this moment pure in points. So second to none is 12, RMV is 12. Let's say RMV really surprised me right there. Reapers are on 9. They lost the one, I think, against you guys. No, the Reapers lost
Well,
against
Alpha.
uh, Alpha, yeah. Then it was on 9 points is Chaos. Alpha has 9 points. So there are 3 teams who are having 9 points. ATSB had 0 points on Saturday, but they took both points on Sunday. So 6 points, 6 points. Terra Knights 3. Hala Monkeys 3. Rocket 1. Grizzly 1, and then Saviors 0.
Zero.
How does that feel, Tom, man? Come on. You know,
Not
you know,
good.
you know what it is, Tom? And this is the good thing about it, because I think we're gonna get some different leaderboards in the future. Like number one in point scoring is second to none. They had 164 points. RMV are the second one. They scored 118 points with the same point. Reap 79, Chaos 75, and then Alpha number five. They only scored 46 points. But you guys, you didn't score overall points, but you had 67 points as hang points. So actually, you were on the sixth place right there, but well, without winning points. But these these scores are really cool for the future, where you're going to get a personal or a team thing that you say, okay, but we still we're still going to do something on the points. And then if you go to the hangs and the snatches, there
Well,
were
it was just every time just 10 points short, 2 points short, 5 points short. I was like, ah, fuck. Ah.
that's it. You were with the hangs. Here it is. The proof is right here. Second to none, they had 19 hangs. RMV had 12 hangs. Reapers had 8 hangs. And then on number 4, Chaos 7. But you guys, you had 8 hangs too.
Yep.
So, that's the difference. So it's really fine tuning. And with this data, you can do a lot, because here you see how close you were every time losing games. Because you
Yeah.
scored the points, you scored your hangs, you scored everything. But
So
yeah,
you
and then
also see that the defense is shortens. So
yeah,
because if the attacking is good, the defense sucks because the opponent can score more points if they are attacking than we can.
yeah.
So we
And then
fix
you
that.
go to to the snatches. Well, it's getting boring, but second to none, 13 snatches, RV 10, Reapers 10, Chaos 5, but you guys had 5 too. And that's what I'm trying to explain. So with this data, you really can work on your
Yeah,
on
yeah,
your on your gameplay. And that's what makes this game so exciting. That's my that's how I see it.
correct.
Yep.
Hey, behind the mask, nobody's greeting our big friend behind the mask, our commentator, who
Mr.
really struggled on
Scream.
Saturday. Yeah, Scream, he was there, and he really did his best, man. But it was so different. So he needs to get that startup. But on Sunday he was there. He was like ninja.
Oh, he already did a great job on the Friday stream, and then he came in Saturday, seeing the field himself for the first time, still had to work on the new rule set himself. But he adapted so fast, and as you said, on Sunday he was on fire as usual. He was the hyper scream that we all know and love.
But I was next to him,
Yep.
and it was a pity, because I was too busy
Here,
with
actually.
organizing and the refs, etc., etc. But I mean, put me 2 days only with a microphone in front of me, and then, and this is lovely to commentate this game. It's lovely. It's amazing, and yeah. But
But he
Scream,
had he had his long hair in front of his eyes. That's why.
maybe that's it. That's it.
I think that's the right place for Bird behind that microphone. Loving the
Yep.
commentate. You
Yeah.
you hear the excitement. It's nice.
It's it was yeah. But how did you? I mean, you guys, you watched the stream later, didn't you, or did you? You did.
Yeah, of course.
You need to. I mean, you need you need to enjoy that watching. I mean, just that was such a different game. It was just like, for me, it was, as I said, it was like I was reborn. It was like, wow, this is what I want to see. This is what I like to sit down, sitting for 8 hours in my chair and watching the NSL and watching the Pro Division. That's yeah. How many times did you watch it back, Dimi?
Um, during my work, I'm just let the stream play, just to for the commentary, like just the commentary. And there are indeed a few moments that I'm watching the teams that we have to confront them in the next tournament to see how we can eliminate those or well, a few players from the break. I think just by saying this doesn't mean it's new. Everybody's doing this. But yeah, now that the stream is there, yeah, we have to look out for the next opponents, their strategies on the field. So it's gonna be interesting.
So Tom, what are you gonna do, guy, with to get at least to number one?
Yes, of course, train as soon as much as possible, and we have watched also back the stream. Of course, we have a couple of team meetings, and yeah, we just admit we have to fix our defense side and make it instead of defending, make it attacking, and then yeah, let's see what turns out because we notice it. Yeah, our weakness was our defense. What we already said before we walked on the field. What used to be was our strength is now a weakness. That's it. And we have to fix that.
So what you say actually is that you actually as a team really need to change everything. So you as a team need
Basically.
to change everything.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah. We were like the staying back, and now we are need to go to the front, and that's yeah, that's something we need to change.
do you have that feeling, Dimi? I'm sorry that I'm taking your place right here,
Oh,
Tim, but
wow.
No, no, it's all fine.
curious,
Go ahead.
I'm curious too right here. Did you
No,
do
not
you
at
need
all.
to change? No?
No, not at all, because what people need to understand or see is that people say, "Oh, Sektonon is defensive team, a defensive team,"
Never.
but we may start as a defensive, but look, Rebel is attacking, Young One is attacking, attacker, Benta, me as well. We are already four. Elias, Chup Chup, he's already also an attacking player. The only defensive players that we have is Polo and McSwain. Even McSwain is a mid, I can say midfield player.
Yeah.
But imagine for us, one, we have a good aim. If we start at the back doing the G1, G2, then the attacking offensive style or instinct that we have, we can profit from that. So we can start as a defensive, at just break, and then move up because like attacking instinct players, we already have those attacking offensive talents, I would say. So
So actually, what you're saying is that you as a team don't have to change. You don't have to change because your team is actually an all-round team who can put a situation in defense situation or in offense situation.
we already showed this in the past that I can put myself in a defensive spot, bend the rebel as well, and we can do it. We managed it in a good way,
Hmm.
and it's only beneficial for us that we can do the two parts. So yeah, I
What
think it's
advice would you give? What advice would you give to Tom then? Because you see, their team needs to change actually completely as the gameplay as a team how they played in the last 3 years. They need to change that now in here.
I think if I can say for Tom, I've seen him play a lot. He can do the both parts. Like he's offensive. He can play with his pistol. He can play with his M4. But how I see him in Saviors, it's like he's the Joker. Like, okay, we have to play defensive. Okay, Tom, you play defensive. Okay, Tom, you need to go forward. Okay, Tom goes forward. So they are just making him do the work while everybody's staying at their
Yeah.
position. That's
Mhm.
the weakness in this case for Saviors, that Tom is an all-round player, but not all the other players. So
Correct.
the biggest advantage they have is that Tom knows this bunker, that bunker, but they don't. So that's the biggest mistake that Saviors is doing or
So they
making.
need three jokers.
Wesley is buying a kappa again, so
Uh,
it sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I think it's nice to see in Sanctonon, and it's not from this year. You've always seen it. As soon as they see one gap, there's like five guys, field clear.
yeah.
It's like this, and then you see the guys go, and it's done. It's
I
one
saw
gap
some.
they need, and then.
I saw
But
some right. I saw some plexiglass trains. I'm calling that plexiglass trains because then you see them move up, and then you see on the end you see Polo running up there, but it's always it's it, it's Dimi. He's going. He's like it's like the Heintje de Voorste is going up
yeah,
there. And then Rebels coming behind, and then running after that is going to be Ormex Swain or it's going to be Polo. But that's the
but it's
train that
like with
yeah.
the whole team at once, and we are struggling with to go forward with the team. We're like, or Wesley goes, or Stefan goes, but not like with five guys at one time. It's always one or two, and then the rest stays behind a little bit. That's also something we have to work out.
Yeah.
And the good thing, and sorry to say this, but what I think, what the charms are from this field, and I know not everybody loves this, but you need to cover to get to not get shot. You need to get cover, but you need to peek to see and scan and shoot your opponent. And the good thing about this is that on the moment
Oh yeah,
when you have when you have the balance in your team or in the game, and you know the moment when you're gonna scan or you're gonna shoot or you're gonna move.
everyone
Because
has
these
it.
are three on the moment. Dimi, are you first scanning and then shooting, or first shooting and then scanning?
No, it's just, well, for me, it's analyzing from the break where they might go. Might.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that they going to that bunker. No, they might go. So I can say, okay, two left, three right.
That's
Then
true.
then we anticipate. And from, like I said before, if there is a G1, G2, it's all about anticipation. Like, okay, that player is gone over there. We have to fill in that gap. One player down over there should cover well, shoot the lane to the last player so he cannot peek, so he can move up and this and that.
You
It's
shoot where
it's
they think they are.
it's anticipating. Everything is to anticipate.
Tim, as a player and now as a ref,
Mm-hmm.
you what is the biggest difference you saw? I mean, it's well, I can talk for hours, but I really
Same.
like to hear. I really like to hear people's opinion and people's way of how they need to. Well, I'm gonna ask you this question as a player.
Mm-hmm. Um, well, I spent I think about 8 hours on this layout so far during practices, and just the layout itself will require a lot of mechanical changes in the way that players move and behave on the field. Because what we now have is mostly Doritos on the field, and what Doritos do is, as long as you're standing up, these things are small, they don't provide you any cover up here. But as soon as you go down, those things turn white, and on the bottom there's so much cover. And I can maybe just quickly try to show it off here on this field layout thing. It's,
Make sure it's
yeah,
on
so just looking from, let's say, this perspective, if you're staying low on this field, there's barely any lane that you can shoot. Here's one, and that's about it. Everything else is about covered. But as soon as you stand up, this field is so open, and I freaking love it. So it really opens up more space for people to move around while still having the yeah, all these open space up top. So here, for guys like Polo, for example, he can shoot the whole field from back here. But then at the same time, Rebel can just crawl right in front of him and take up all this space because nobody can see him. So your field awareness and the way you kind of like divide the area into lanes that have to be covered, they are completely different than before. Before you had this easy peasy cross setup from both blocks to the Snake 50 and Plexi 50, and now there are like so many angles that need to be covered. So many tight gaps that need to be looked at. So this field requires a lot more field awareness than before. And just from a mechanical perspective, before you could do the push out move. I think that's the main move that everybody does on peaking. The rollout move, so it's just when you just drop the shoulder and you roll out of your bunker, you have a perfect, like the smallest possible hitbox for the opponent to hit. But when we do that same move on these Doritos, people will just they will have to get used to not pushing out and rolling out anymore, but now pushing out, because otherwise these bunker don't provide you with any cover. When you now roll out, they can see my whole upper body. We can maybe talk about this more in the future, but just for now, I think on mechanical
Yeah.
level, a lot of things changed. And then from a referee perspective, or I'm also kind of looking into maybe becoming a coach this year, so I'm analyzing pretty much all of the games. And let's take Saviors as an example. I just talked about them yesterday to somebody, analyzing their gameplay, how to fight against them. And as Thomas said before, defense was their strongest attack. And they were winning games off of playing defensive and then pushing. This doesn't work anymore, not even on defensive side. So as we said before, the switch in the players' heads needs to be turned. It needs to be flipped. There's even defense is not defense actually. It's just passive aggression. If you get what I mean. It's no more standing and holding. It's out moving, outsmarting, outthinking the opponent. And then if you have guys like Dimi who have a amazing first shot accuracy, you can completely dominate this field. And that's like before the layout, the format itself, it was holding, it was gunning, it was mostly standing and waiting for the guys to move into you. And now it completely flipped around, and the guys that are moving are now in an advantage and not the ones that are standing. So long story short, I absolutely enjoyed.
It's that was the only goal for me and for the board that we want to create. You know, it was like we need to we need to make the game different, and we need to get rid of everything we don't like in the game. And for me, one thing was I want to get rid of team deathmatch. That was for me goal number one, and I think we reached that point. And on Saturday, the first one, when there was an open, when teams could come and get a explanation about the teams. The day before, there were two cans on there, and I was there on Saturday, and directly they just played four games, and that second bunker where now the Dorito is there on the right, where I saw that, I said directly, tomorrow it's gone. Tomorrow it's gone because you had the same thing again. And to be honest, the little mistake, well, yeah, it was a little mistake on Saturday, where the clock was 5 seconds instead of a half a second. It was like you already saw that when you give the people the chance, even in time or bunker, to stay back, lay down, they will take it. They're waiting, and then they saw they had time enough with 5 seconds, so they stay behind. They shoot, and then they went for the 5 seconds, and that's why we switched it actually, because then we saw it was a mistake that the 5 seconds started on the moment when the buzzer was there, and but it needs to be changed. It's 3 seconds, and then it was before it was on Saturday. The last games was 2.7 seconds or something like that. All drama on the field, but on Sunday everything was 3 seconds. How it needs to be done, because what we wanted is that when there is a smart team who says, okay, we're going to play offense, but we're staying behind with the flag, and on the moment we shut them all, we're going to take our points. No way, Jose. No, you only have 3 seconds, and you saw that from teams who stay behind. When you're not at that 50, you're not scoring points.
Yep.
You need to be at least at the 50 to take care of your scoring points. And if you're at the 50 and you shoot them to do a hang, it's almost impossible to get from the 50 to your breakout in 3 seconds. So you are lucky when you get 2 points in 3 seconds. And that's the push of the game, is like you need to go to the 50, and from there on you are able to score points. Well, you decide how many points you are scoring, and and it's not anymore like waiting, because I hated that so much, guys. I hated that so much that they were shooting 5 people and then the flag. What the fuck was the flag doing in this game anymore? I mean, I could put it away because it had no use. You know, it was like, and yeah, again, I'm getting enthusiastic again when I'm talking about it. It's like I can't wait for the next one, and yeah, it's this is something what people gonna play from now on. We all changed the the game. We all changed it, and we're gonna change it more and more and more, because this is not airsoft anymore, guys. This is speedsoft.
Alunk,
Yeah.
I sent you a video on Instagram. I don't know if you can show it. It was a funny clip.
Yeah, can do it in a second. Get this off, log it to my Insta.
We
Dimi,
be
what is your hardest move from the breakout? What for you
get to the other side.
Uh,
from the
I
breakout?
think the hardest.
Is it harder for you to get to the U, or harder for you to get into the to the Dorito, or harder for you to get into the snake? What is the hardest point?
Oh no, for me it would be the snake because I'm avoiding the belly slide. So snake, you don't see me ever in the snake.
Why
Maybe
are
this
you
was a
avoiding it though?
tactical.
He's an old man. That's why.
Yeah, okay.
No, no, because of injuries, I cannot do the Superman dive.
Okay.
If I do this, end of story.
Okay, Tom, I have your video ready.
Okay, nice. It was a moment of Wesley thought, fuck it. Didn't work out.
And so Severs has only one player left here.
There he comes. No. It was a shame.
Nope.
He tried.
Man,
But I
Oliver cringe how he's getting, how excited he's getting from the game, you know, and I really loved the moment when he did the commentary and he support Scream. That was, you know, he understands the game, and I
Yep.
think you have to listen to the guy because he really understands the game as a team. And maybe because he did American football, but it has nothing to do with American football. I hope you're all convinced now that it has nothing to do with that. So no, but he reads the game really good, really good, really reads. He has a good eye on the game.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
made the plans.
Yeah,
Even in Canaries, when he was commentating, I really enjoyed that part.
yeah.
Also,
Alright.
then he sounds also exciting. He's a good guy.
Oh, you didn't hear the commentary. That's interesting, because for me it was so freaking loud that I couldn't hear anyone else talking. Yes, Kiwi, I remember the guy from last Sunday who broke his arm. Maybe you guys here,
What?
Tom, Dimi, and Bert, you haven't heard about it. So we were at
Nope.
the field on Sunday for private practice and pickups. Um,
where?
uh, at Ristrick Arena this Sunday. So I was watering down the field for like 20 minutes straight. Finally finished. I go outside for a smoke. Come back inside. This guy comes up to me like holding his arm. Next guy next to him like, what happened? Yeah, I think it snapped. I think it broke. And he kept holding his lower arm like down here. So we were all thinking, hey, maybe he broke this bone or something. Turns out he broke his upper arm, and the way he did that is he was diving into the U and his body kind of twisted outside. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to show this on camera. So he was in the dive and then his body turned this way. So his elbow was turned into that direction and his upper arm just snapped
Yeah.
in 7 different spots. had to go home, got a 3-hour surgery just right on that day as soon as he made it to the hospital. I think he's doing fine so far. I didn't get to talk to him yet. He's still on some, morphium and stuff. So get well soon, buddy. I hope you're doing all right. It was. I'm so happy I didn't hear that sound. The other guy said it. It just mm,
That,
not nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think,
So end of
and
story. It was your fault. The field wasn't wet enough.
I'm actually thinking it might have been too wet. He didn't expect it to go that fast and maybe try to break or something. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Um, Nobody else got hurt that day. Nobody else got stuck on anything. The floor was wet enough for the whole practice. But yeah, he got really unlucky and he just snapped his arm.
I think it's I think especially on Saturday, I was really scared. Like on Saturday, people went in there full force, and people needs to understand that if you do an action, and maybe this game is asking you a little bit more of giving more from yourself, but please keep your mind with it. You know, it's like it's it happens in no time. Look at Polo. I mean, it was out of the running for how many months, Dimi, with his knee?
Half a year, I think.
Half a year. So yeah,
Stefan met het kruisbanden.
yeah, Stefan Kruisbanden. Yeah, it was. So again, this is an advice, guys. This game is amazing, but keep safe. You know, stay thinking and stay smart, and uh, and it's happened in no time. You know, so the guy who I heard it, I heard it on Monday. So for the guy who's there, I really hope you're getting well very soon, uh, and please be careful next time when you're coming because. But yeah, for everybody who's gonna play next weekend, next week, um, you
Next weekend is. Oh no, next weekend is training. When
no
is
no
the
weekend after that.
first division?
23rd and 24th, so
Yeah,
next weekend,
Okay, the week
not this
after that.
week.
next weekend. Yeah, so not this weekend, but the weekend after that.
Okay.
So for everybody who's coming, take care. This game actually seduce you to do moves maybe, but think before you do them. That's my advice,
Yeah.
and please take care of yourself, and please take care. And sometimes a cool move can be a dumb move on the end, so don't do that.
If I may add to what Bert just said, this developed into an actual sport. You need to be an actual athlete, especially for Pro Division, to survive these 15 minutes. These moves, like for beginners, these moves, these slides, these dives, the aggressive going for the flag things, they all look easy when you've done them thousands and thousands of times, when you've practiced those for days and days and months on. But when you just start learning these dives and these slides and these weird movements that we sometimes do, start out slow, start them in your own pace, and get comfortable with them before doing them in a tournament. Because breaking your arm takes way longer than practicing that move a second or third time until you can do it. I don't want to
That's
shame this
cool.
guy now. It's just the perfect example for what happened. Because he wasn't
I need
able to do that dive, and that's why he broke his arm. He wanted to go all in, but he wasn't prepared at that time. So take your time, practice, get your overall fitness together, and then advance forward from there. Don't try to skip anything. It's not worth it.
was
And
I
if
the
you take
guy?
your arm, at least score the 12 points then.
But when was I the only one that weekend who saw people sliding like is gone? I mean, some people making slides there and Superman jumps that they were not even looking at Superman jumps like slides. It was like sometimes I really was like, oof, like oof, this is not that. And practice, guys. Look videos, look paintball videos. Watch them how they slide. Watch them the technique because and we're gonna try to make some training slots in the future with some team captains and everything together to train and to advise people in how to at least get safe off the field. But it always stays in your head. You know, we cannot. Nobody can temper your mind. But again, was I the only one who saw it, or did you saw some crazy slides too, Tom?
Yeah, sometimes I had something that I thought from how did he get there so fast? But yeah, just with the Superman slides, some people are so insanely fast with them, and yeah, it's
I saw
crack.
really people diving with their head in front and then on their knees, and I said like, "Oh my freaking gosh, this is gonna,
Yeah.
I,
this is."
I I didn't have seen dangerous stuff myself, but some from some
Mm,
fast stuff I saw.
I can recall some guys still having a misconception of the dolphin dive slash Superman dive thingy, because what they actually do is they jump into it. You don't want to jump on a dive. You just fall over slightly, and at the last moment before your upper body touches the ground, push yourself forward. It's like diving into like a really what's it called? Like really flat surface water or something. You're not really diving into it, you're trying to skip over it. And I see so many people still jumping into those moves where they like levitate this much over the ground and then they just bump onto their elbows and knees. It's not healthy for the future.
No.
No,
And
my
then
first
some super
dive,
ridiculous move that I can recall is RNV Beast. He saw the flag next to the castle and he was playing, I think, at the back left Dorito or something. He drops his gun mid sprint, just lets it drop onto the floor, dives for that flag, grabs it, and completely moves the whole castle around because he just bumped into it so fast. He didn't give a
It was
damn about what happened. He wanted that flag in the moment.
at no point scored. Huh?
Nope.
There was no point scored, but I like the action at the move he did, but it was dangerous. You know, it was
yeah.
he could really hurt himself really bad there.
But at some points, I think it's went action before reaction.
Yeah. So, but again, that's a part of the sport too. You know, even with football, you can break a leg, and even with
Yeah.
with billiard, you can get an eye out. You know, if you, but it all depends on.
If we should do it like football, we should be lying on the ground with every BB hit.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Schwalbe BBs. So,
Alright,
Yeah.
what was
nice.
the most exciting thing for you, Dimi, that weekend? If you had an exciting moment.
No, there were a few excited moments, and I'm just talking about myself and my team. That on Sunday our communication was is what we wanted. Saturday was a little bit a lack of communication, but on Sunday everybody was saying, "Whoa, guys, our communication was really good." Everybody was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." Everybody, the call outs were super great. The G's were great. So actually, for me, instead of action on the field, that was a highlight for us. That even after this is our fourth season, after fourth season, our communication is getting there. And this is
Communication looks so easy, but it's so hard.
yeah, and that's the thing that a lot of people ask like, what's the first thing you need to do? And I'm like, okay, get yourself a good mask for communication, and the next thing is communication. But people think this is easy, but it's not easy.
No, no.
I think I definitely saw the difference in communication between last year and this year too, because you really evolved this year in communication. And I think it's not only communication, but the way of communication is very important. You can communicate verbally, you can communicate with the hands, you can communicate with your knees or with your head. And I really saw some things. I'm not going to tell them right here that there was a new thing in your communication way, um, that I really saw like that that is a really good way of communication. Um, and it's not verbally, it's not verbally. and it's more eye contact, and that I think that's communication too. Verbally communication and non-verbal communication,
Yeah.
and you
The,
win the games with non-verbal communication because they don't know where you are. Am I
indeed,
right? Sorry.
that was one of, I said indeed, and that was one of our highlights of our last tournament from 2 weeks ago.
Mm. I observe every team, all the teams. When I'm home, guys, I'm observing everything, and I see people growing, I see players growing, I see teams growing, and I like to do that, and I really like to see again teams who are already good still improving and growing because we are such a young sport, and 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 we just take it completely different than the rest, and I really like that commitment to the the community is not big, it's a small community, but who is in the community, they really take it so serious. I really love it. And it's an addiction because if you see like I really appreciate Alpha Team. I really appreciate them because they're getting addicted to it. It's something when you're there and you get besmet. What is besmet?
Uh,
Contagious. Yeah, contagious. Contagious. When you see the other, when you see the other players playing it, and they were like, oh, and then they get it, and then on that moment, the excitement is coming there, the improvement is getting there, and it doesn't matter what team. Everybody who's getting there, and you play on that field, it's like I want to be a part of that. I want to be just, and I want to involve more and more and more and more and more. So I really like that all the teams improving every year, and especially some players. There are some players they will never improve, but there will be that there are definitely players and definitely teams where I think in now 3 years they will be sky high. So yeah,
Yep, for sure. We already have some guys in the league that just started like half a year ago or a year ago, and you can see them are you improving. Like, they even accelerate at their improvements every single time. First practice they do one step, next practice they do even two. Sometimes they do half a marathon, but you can just see these guys improve constantly. And for me personally, those are the most interesting guys to watch.
my again, everybody knows that um, I always look the thing like, oh, I would build a team with this person or this person or this person or this person, the dream team, and it's getting more clear now. It's getting every time it's getting more. Oh, that's a rough diamond. Oof, that's nice. And then I watch that guy or that girl, and I watch them for the next coming weeks or months. And the improvement of some players, they are amazing, guys. They are really amazing. And we don't need to call names, but we know where we're talking about. There are some rough diamonds in that field with some good training. What I hope that really stays there, and it's going to grow in there. Training. We all will going to be responsible to bring those guys there where they belong, and not as like I want them or that. No, we need to bring them where they belong, and they belong there on the top, and that's our responsibility.
Yeah. Trust me, Bert, I have a list of this dream team setup myself. I have a couple of guys on there and I'm constantly watching them, and I can totally get where you're coming from with that. Like, some of these guys are just, if they get the proper refinement, they can be like top player for the upcoming 5 years.
Yep.
Not Dimi is too old.
Well, I think again, I mean, I'm always honest like that, and people can say what they want. But on this moment, I don't see somebody is beating him on this moment, even when he's got this age. Um, I really enjoy every time when he's on that field and he's playing there. He's got the moves, he's
He
it's
is one of the best.
another
Yeah.
mother. You hate him when you. I understand Elias. It's like You know, this guy is good in everything he touches. This guy is good in everything he does. But from the other side, his age is not. These are all excuses for the rest, you know. But you don't see the age on the field. I mean, I know he's in suffering. I know he suffers, but you don't see it when he's playing. You don't see it, and I think there are not many people now in this field who can stand up and no, he's a perfect example, and I hope a lot of people see him as example how to play the game, and um, and that's a personal thing. And yeah, you can say yeah, I like it. No, it's my feeling, and of course I hope there will be a switch. I hope that there will be a switch in teams and there will be a switch in players, of course, because when this guy needs to get beaten once. Come on, let's be honest. But don't give him the pleasure that it's going to be on a rollator, you know? Don't give him the pleasure. Give him the pleasure when he still walks, when he still moves on that field like a leopard, you know? That's where you beat him, not when he's old and no. Now is the moment to beat him. Or not, Dimi.
No, I'm, I don't know how to say it in English. In Dutch we say ik verkoop mijn vel heel duur.
Yeah. I sell my
Uh,
hide very expensive.
yeah, no, it's always been a challenge, and like I said before, not on the live stream, but for example, during pickup games, I see Tom play because he's there every weekend. But I see him play, I see other teams players play, and like Alung says, I see a lot of good players, and they're still young. And this is indeed uh, the opportunity to train them, but it's also looking through my perspective. It's like, okay, I need to be more focused. I need to be ahead of them. Like I need to be a few steps before them because I know they're gonna catch up. But I always give the example in football. If you're not the fastest anymore, if you are not the most technical anymore,
You
then
need
you
to.
just need to think differently. Like let the others move or let the others run for you or timing is everything. Timing is everything. I remember during a football game when I was playing for the selection of Chile, we were playing against in Holland against Glasgow Rangers. And in the other team, they had a striker. He was insanely fast, and he was against the oldest player
Sorry.
of our team.
Thank you.
He was against the oldest player against in my team, and he never got through that player. And the other players was constantly taunting him. He did mind games with the guy. Like for example, when he did a block, he give him a arm pad like, "Hey, next time, let's go again." It was fun. It was like, what the fuck happened? So he destroyed that guy mentally. And this is the same, like in my case, I'm not saying that I'm I'm too old. No, I have to be clever. I need to be smart. I need to play smart. I need to um, give them the illusion that I'm here, but no, I'm there. So I have to play with tricks now instead of being young and physically strong. No, I need to play different.
So you're going to use your card talents into the game, playing tricks.
It's all about tricks. It's all about tricks.
You know,
I I will say this live on this channel. I remember I was playing against Legion during the finals, and I had my gold lenses, so they could not see my eyes. And I was watching Alex, and I was watching and I was watching it, and I was like saying, I will fool him by twisting my head, doing like I'm checking the other side, but my eye was always towards him. So I did this, and then he came out, and I was like, boom, boom, dead. So this is the thing that I'm explaining. Like, I need to fool them in a way that they don't expect it.
That's a
So
really quarterback move. That's a quarterback move. They do that same.
Yeah, I'm
That's amazing.
totally on Dimi's side there. What he said, brain is more important than aim. And when you can outsmart your opponents, you can shoot your first 10 shots into the wall and you still get this guy because he doesn't expect you to be there.
I can recommend you Dash Masters.
You just want some
what?
opponents, right? He said he recommends Dash Masters.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing. Get in the
Tom,
guy's head.
yeah. Tom wants to get beat on Dash Masters because he's the champ of Dash Masters. He is. I mean,
Yep.
he really won all the things, to be honest, in points. But you are a Dash Master winner of what? Hunter.
Especially Andre, yeah.
Yeah. So no, I
But
want to see. I mean, even then, for Dimi, when he's getting too old, he's still can play Dash Master. It's,
Hey, I showed Bert like during the Dash Masters.
but if I may
he, wa-
jump back on something that Dimi said,
You get your
um,
gun next year.
so he started by saying, or we started this question with saying like we need to train more younger guys right now on the field. And then Dimi said he has to think about himself and be like 2 steps ahead of these guys. And I can totally understand that. He's still a competing player. He wants to be on top of the game. But at the same time, we are the guys now that started this sport, that have been playing this sport for a while, that got the experience. And we are the ones that need to share this experience with the younger guys so they don't have to start from scratch and they don't take 3 to 4 years to get to the point where we are at right now. Of course, they have to work for themselves, but we have to kind of show them the way how it's done while still maintaining our advantage. Of course, we want to get the quality of everybody in this league as high as possible, but everyone has to fight for his own edge, of course. But I think that's the main mentality that we kind of need to get into the sport for the upcoming year or maybe this year to have more of these player clinics, of these sharing experience days, having more experienced players go up to less experienced team and show them at least the basics, get them into the sport as a start.
well, maybe Friday. Maybe Friday. We're going to surprise you guys on the breakout because Friday there will be a breakout. So we're really going with some events too in this direction, and I really hope that the community picks this up and wants to be a part of this. So yeah, Friday
Check.
breakout.
Last Sunday we played the Reapers tournament, and there was one new guy. He never played Speed QB or NSL or something like that. And he said to me, "From what's the most important thing?" And the first thing what I told him is like, "If you think you are hit by a baby, get off the field. That's the most important thing."
Rule
You had
one,
enough.
call your hit.
Just
Oh,
the guy with 2 second degree penalties. Damn it!
yeah. So
Can't drop me.
what do you think in your next game? It's in June. It's in June. Who are you gonna play in June? Who are your competitors in June?
Don't know out of my
11th
head.
and 12th of June, yeah.
Yeah,
I have to look
We
for
have
that.
we have to play RNV, Reapers, um, Hauler Monkeys, and normally Saviors. Yes.
that's preparation, Tom. It starts with that. This question.
I
Right?
know.
You need to know who you play because now you have 1.5 months to prep yourself into your competitors, and that it starts there. It starts like frick. I need to be ready for that game. You need to. Je moet er naartoe leven. You need to live to that moment. Like this is these are the components because there's a difference playing against um, team A or team C or team D or F. There is a difference, and everybody has their different approach. And and this is just an advice in this sport, guys, for the future, not only for you, and maybe for you too, Dimi, but you cannot go into a weekend with with one tactic or with one strategy, because you're playing four teams with different strategies. You need to learn them bit by bit if you want to beat them. And I think you're on that breakout wall to beat them. And you need to know who your components are on the other side. And it starts there. And maybe I'm a little bit hard now at this moment, but I don't mean this hard. It's just like I know
You're
how
right.
hard I know how hard it's going to be for you, guy Tom, to lose. And I saw it. And I really saw it because you were used. You guys, Saviors really did really well in the last 2 years, really did well. And you were used to win. And you were used to win. And now you need to get that moment back. But you need to know there are different teams on the other side now than in the last 2 years.
Yeah, of course. But I think it was like 7 cents, second on indeed. Like um, I fought Chaos, Hollow Monkeys, and then I really don't know anymore. But these teams for sure.
What team are you the most scared of, Dimi? Not scared, but you know what I mean with that. Which gets really your attention and preparing time?
Well, the teams that we didn't play, like Howler Monkeys, Alpha, yeah, eventually all the new teams actually. RNV, a weird, I would say a weird team, but they have 12 points. Even, okay, it's a start, and they played against first division teams, but you have to be on the field and show your qualities. Even though, for example, Saviors have the qualities, but lost
Didn't
with
play hard.
lost, lost with no, because like Bert said, you had more points, you have more points than other teams above you, but you're still last. So I think it's yeah, I would say all those new teams are a challenge because they are now in the pro division. They are super hyped. They don't want to come short. I think they are more burned than, I would not say because we are always focused, but I think it's like, for example, our first match will be RMV. I already know, and my team as well. Like, okay, for them it's like, hey, it's second to none. We have to beat them, and if we beat them, we are 3 points ahead of them, and we have a good start. So it's
For them, they can lose.
it's make
It's
it or break it.
playing against for first division team playing against second to none. You can lose. You can only win.
That's what I
In
mean.
their eyes.
That's what I mean.
Who's going to beat second to none this year, Dimi?
Um, and
My bet. Did you play Chaos already?
no,
I think Chaos will be a hard one. They really figured out this game.
Chaos has some potential.
Didn't show in the leaderboard yet, but I think, to be honest, I'm most afraid to play Chaos. It's
Well,
always been
I have to be honest that if I watch in the last weekend, all the teams are competitive, but I think that we don't underestimate. I mean, never underestimate
no,
Reapers.
no, no.
Never underestimate the Reapers. Never underestimate. But there are two teams that are really new, and the Hala Monkeys and um, Alpha Team. I really think that Alpha Team is gonna dig this really good this game, and I think you have to be prepared of them too, because nobody knows actually how they play. Well, you played against them last year, Tom, but this is a different game. You see it, right? Like last year, nobody could win from the saviors of their way of playing on that field in that gameplay. But now it's a different game, and just depends on how do you absorb that gameplay. And I really hope that you're gonna get it fast. But I think there are some teams like the two French teams I'm talking about.
Alpha and Grizzy?
No,
Alunk.
how Alunk and the Alpha team. I
Okay.
mean, Grizzy. I can give an opinion on Grizzy team. It was like um, I really looked forward when they came there, and I really was waiting for what they would do on the field. But yeah, it was a pity that it didn't work out that weekend, and yeah, I was a little bit like, ah, no, that I had a different expectation of what it actually went, but I definitely know all these players in that team, they all have quality. They just need to get it in structure. They need to get structure to get it out and adapt the rules and adapt the gameplay because I saw really some players there and I watched them and I mean there are pro paintball players in there. So you see it on the moves, you see it on how they move and how they and if they dig and then grind this gameplay, they will be hard to beat, but not now, So I really hope that they make that switch because it can be a really great team. But now in this moment, they are not. They need to make that switch to be a part of this. And now in this moment, I will say like the Howler Monkeys Alpha for the French teams, they really start learning it and moving it. But Alpha team really, really, really made a big step. I saw
Yeah,
that,
yeah. I
and
wanna.
I
For
saw
sure.
and I saw that on the team against the Reapers. They really outplayed the Reapers on a smart way in the last seconds. It was a really smart and 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 I know it's like I talked with Jan about it from the Reapers Simon and they of course they don't like it and but they know they were beaten fair and square right there. But yeah, they understand their opponent. Yeah,
Reapers was exciting.
always exciting.
It's
I
0-0, 0-0, 1-0, 1-1, 3-1, 3-2, 4-3.
But it's always exciting playing against Reapers. With the Reapers, you always know it's an aggressive gameplay, but they can win with it or lose with it. But when they are in the flow and they get the flow and the the, the mindset is all on the same level, it's a
Yep,
hard team to beat. It's a hard team to beat.
they have
It's
good players,
uh,
fast
oh.
ones.
But now and now there are two teams. So it's the team and the first division team. They are together. So first division teams from the let's say Reapers 2, they are playing now in Reapers 1, 2, and 1, 2, not like 2 but 2. So they are they need to get used to that gameplay too. So they need to adapt that gameplay too. But I really know that team can be, man, they have choice enough. They have choice enough, and they will get there. I know they grind for it now. Right now, there are on the training field on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's only on Monday they're going for shopping, and the rest they are on the training. They are training. So, but
We've been training with them. That's hard.
I know,
That's hard.
yeah. But it's one of your opponents the last years, Dimi. I mean, the Reapers are always every year. You're actually game enemy number one because they were 3 years second. Oh no, and Legion. It was Legion, but I mean you didn't play Legion the last 2 years. So, but are you not? Do you see the positive side because they have more choice in their team or not?
You have an advantage and a disadvantage. Um, the advantage is like if they, I would say, go to the finals, they have fresh players instead of us or Saviors, I saw them with 5 or 6.
Mhm.
The advantage of having a small amount of players is that they can play the offensive and defensive part. So they are in the flow. The disadvantage is if these teams with low amount of players go to the final, at the end stage they are exhausted. In more chances on injuries, while the other teams that have 12 players, they are fresh. But I also know that the teams with 12 players, they say, well, it's good, but I didn't play much. So that's a disadvantage because they are not in the flow. Because I can do the attacking part and also the defensive part. I know both parts, but we can even then do it strategically. Like the defensive team is the one team that is going to play the most because they are trying to defend or trying to so the other team gets the third round, the third attempt, and then a snatch, while the other team tries to do it in the first attempt to get the 12 points and then the bonus points. So their round will be most likely be at the first attempt or second attempt. So the attacking team is always gonna play less
Yeah,
than the
and I agree and I disagree with you because I try to explain my disagree with you because on the moment when you play sport, it's not about your playing time. It's about the end goal. It's about what is the end goal and what is I'm winning or I'm not winning. It's not about your playing time. Um, if I had the choice of 12 people, I would choose for an offense and a defense team, and maybe one all rounder. But I would choose for that personally because I think that it's much better to train one team in full focus of defense and concentrate on every team on the other side with only defense in their head and train the other part of only offense with the teams that they have there. So you only focus on one point in that. So that's why I disagree with that. Um, those 2 points is why I disagree. Why I agree is that we are still a young sport where everybody wants to play, and but I think that's the mentality that we need to switch and change in this sport because it doesn't matter if you are playing hockey or you play football. When you play football, you are on the couch with 24 people or 24 players, but only 11 players play the game, and sometimes there are three substitutes who change the game. But the team there, everybody is trained for to execute where they're trained for. When you're a defender or you're an offense player,
Yep.
and um, so yes, I agree on the way like that um, that your team is more in balance when they play offense and defense. I agree on that. But it's I think you cannot make it on that high level when the level is getting higher and higher to keep this up for the whole season. I think it's going to be very heavy because it's not going to be only the pro league weekends. It's going to be the global weekends. It's going to be the external weekends. I think it's going to be hard. That's my opinion. That's
Well, I could see it from both of the sides that you guys just mentioned. It can both work. It has its advantages to have like jacks of all trades in every single position. So you have like the core, let's say three guys, and then depending on offense or defense, you just switch out the other two. But it could also help a lot, as Bert just said, to have like specified teams for just offense, just defense. Let's think this a few years ahead, maybe, and we get coaches into this whole thing. Maybe you could have an offensive coach and a defensive coach just working with those particular six guys that play offense and defense so they can focus on just that. But then again, especially for myself, I'm like an all-around player, or I see myself as an all-around player. And I personally would prefer doing both, or at least practicing for both, but then I can totally see the advantage of specializing in one of the things.
Indeed.
I think the 12 people situation would work if you have like 4 or 5 games a day. Then I see the advantage. For now, what we did last week of last tournament with 2 games a day, I can see the advantage. But yeah, we when you play more, you have more advantage of it.
Because you think as an airsoft player, and that's not what you need to do. You need to think as a sporter.
As a football
That's
player, oh,
no, you no, because you think as an airsoft player. You think I paid to play the game, but it's not like that. You play
to
to
win.
win the game, and that's the difference of. This is a logical thing in your head that needs to change. It's like when the coach needs you, you're there with one goal, win.
Of course.
And if your team is has the luxury of playing defense and offense, that's a luxury. The only thing I say is to keep it up on that level the whole season. It's going to be a hard one. That it's really going to be a hard one. But I definitely know that a team like Sagatanan or the Saviors can do this. I mean, it's already proven that they can do it. But it's weekend one,
But
and um, and what if well, this is a good example. What if Dimi's getting hurt? He's out. Do you wish then you had an offense and a defense team? Because at least you want, this is a situation that is just mirror right here.
that's a
Yeah,
tough question.
you shouldn't rely on one player, of course, but yeah, you surely will miss him.
Yes
No,
and no, because especially for
Even on
Dimi, I feel like he's the field general on that team. So if he's missing out, you're not just missing a player, you're missing like the eye watching from above, telling everybody where to go.
Yes, I know, because he was also explaining that was with the 1v1 stuff. He's just like get everyone else comfortable in that situation, not only him. So, like we had with Stefan, it's a bad thing, but you shouldn't rely on one player.
yeah, but that's why my question is there. What
Yeah,
if
of course.
out? Because we all know that second to none is not only Dimi, but we all know that he's the most important key in the team there.
Mm.
Would you like to have an offense team then and a defense, or would you have an all round team on that moment? Dimi, question for you, man.
well, it's difficult. And I mean to find players that can fit in a team. Well, that's the first thing that that we need players not just like, hey, we need two teams. Can you play for example sector? No, it needs time. And for the
I agree.
previous,
I agree on that one. I said I agree for the first year. I agree on that, but it's just like the question started like, do you think you need to get what do you think about the 12 teams? Are they having an advantage or not? And you say like I think that we as a team how we play now we don't need 12 players because we can keep it up. That's where the discussion started. Like, and then I said a really tough. Then I asked a tough question like, what if Dini is out, injured or not there? Would you like a team member? Would you prefer to have an all-round team, or would you prefer that you had an offense and a defense team?
mm, it's a difficult one.
I know.
Two teams for me, it's too much. If
I
if we
think
if we could if we could have four more players to rotate, like, okay, because on Sunday my brother was there and I had an M4, or I can play with an M4. Max Wayne was there, Polo was there, Chup Chup Elias was there. Four players with M4s. Attacking side, we had Young One, Rebel, Bente, and me. So again, four. So with the seven players that we had, we could switch. because at some point Bento was not playing, Rebel was not playing, so two pistols out. But I was there with Young One, and then we had Polo, McSwain, Elias, 3 and 4s. So we have those players to change.
Mhm.
Yes, if I or my brother gets injured, yeah, we are two down. So then we have 5 players. So that's the only issue that we're having.
Where I'm scared of is that I think it's like, well, just in your position as second to none leader, um, I think it's very important in your age where you always complain of yourself, not me, but that there needs to be a younger who's going to be in that shoes, who's going to fill those shoes in a few years or in a few, I don't know, in a decade or something. But they need to fill those shoes, and I think that starts with giving them one responsibility, taking the lead on an offense or a defense part. So where you can guide that team with him, that person on the field to execute it, and you can always jump in when it's not working, But I think that's how I see it. And now we are really specific on second to none, but I'm not talking only about second to none because I think the same problem is with the saviors, because it's they are now have a complete they 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 have a complete good defense team, to be honest. Yeah, but in the old structure, not in the new structure.
Yep.
So the defense team from now is not defending behind your bunkers, but is playing the best defense is offense. And that's a different mindset. And that's what I'm trying to say is like when you have the choice of more people to combine this in a way like, okay, I've got a very strong left one. I've got a very strong snake player in defense or in offense. But a good snake player is a good snake player. But hiding the snake or moving the snake, there are two different parts. Hiding in the snake and waiting and playing your defense line is completely different as the offense one to go and get as soon as possible to your 50 or get the point as fast as possible. And that's how I see the gameplay. So I wish I could. I said it from the beginning. I wish I could coach a team, but now I'm waiting for all the diamonds, rough diamonds, getting there, and then I'm going to create my team, and then I'm going to prove you wrong. Then I'm going to prove you wrong. But I understand. I understand where you're coming from, and especially now because it's too young. But I'm just for thinking on the future, and I think future-wise, 6 or 7 players on the team is not enough. That's how I see it. That's
Yeah,
We will see.
yeah, I think the same. But guys,
Yeah,
as much as
it
I
is.
enjoyed this, we've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I think
Hey,
we
good
should.
night, bye.
Yeah, I'm just going. You guys can keep talking. Bye. Um, no, I really enjoyed this, and I think we would actually need way more time to finish this, and it's going way too in depth for this talk show tonight. So I'd say we're gonna make a cut somewhere around here. Um,
I, I wish you did it an hour ago.
no, no, it was too interesting. I just had to listen. I've just been sitting here the last hour giving it all to you because you guys just had the themes down, you had the talk down. I was just listening in and it was interesting. There was some great informations in there, some great mindsets in there. Really enjoyed it, but all good things have to come to an end eventually. So I'm gonna ask
No
the
worries.
chat if they have any last questions for you guys. Maybe you still want to say something, but we cannot start a new conversation right now because
Only thing I can say is I hope we'll bring a surprise for you next tournament.
looking forward to it.
I don't hope for it. I know it's gonna happen, Tom.
Yeah, next tournament is gonna be a hard one.
Yeah.
Well, next tournament you have four. I mean, now it was just warming up. Next tournament it's people and teams you already know. I think at least one, not one, but yeah.
7
Tim,
cents.
thanks for having me, and thanks for having us. And
You
I
guys are
wanted to
very
thank,
welcome.
I want to thank everybody in the chat, and I really hope people are going to see the restream or going to see it back. And for everybody who's going to rewatch this or watch this after that, if you don't know how the game is played, just watch next time. If you have any questions, just send us a mail or just send us a DM. We are happy to explain. We are with in the pro division with 12 teams strong, and I think 18 or 20 teams strong in the first division. And we are happy to help everybody worldwide who wants to have information. And if there is anything, please let us know. Thank you for the support, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us, Alunk.
You guys are welcome. As I said, it's been fun.
It was a good
I
night.
hope you're coming back soon. And yeah, just thank you. Thank the viewers for being here, for being part of this. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Ciao.
You can follow these guys on Instagram, second to none, Junkie. I'm not sure what your name is. Is it just Tom Wolfs?
Just on Wolves, yeah.
Just Tom Wolfs and Bert11. Follow these guys, give them some support. If you have any questions regarding gameplay or practice or maybe some moves you want to do, like lateral slides, dives, or whatever, contact any of us. We can provide you with some information. And yeah, thank you guys. Have a good evening. Make sure to tune in on Friday, the surprise breakout stream that Bert just announced on this show. And don't forget, next weekend, First Division. Thank you. Have a good night and see you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye.
And we created the NSL, the Nations Speed League. NSL is a new concept with a new format that we launch this weekend.
The most challenging part for me right now is mostly getting the players used to the new formats, making sure everybody gets the rules, does the things right.
3, 2, 1.
The players progressing and adapting to this new game. You can see that the refs are also adapting and trying to do the best to get the gameplay the best for the players as well.
What I wanted is more a dynamic gameplay where you have, as a defense team, you have to go for offense to defend your time, or you have to defend and get your snatch. So it brings much more dynamic into the gameplay. You have much more to think about. Before you go on that breakout wall, you need to know with your team what is your plan or defending plan or your offense plan. We have a new clock system, we have a new penalty system, we have a new point system, and that's the difference. And I really want to see this develop this year, and I hope next year we're going to bring this worldwide.
The reffing for this game is kind of hard because the players are moving a lot.
So we're constantly moving, constantly paying attention, 2, 3, 4 players at the same time, checking lanes, seeing where can the next BB come from. You're listening into the call-outs, you're moving accordingly, and it's a lot of physical things to do, but then at the same time, your mental has to stay calm.
We have battling, and battling is a new thing where we can get in communication directly with the other refs on the field, and it works perfectly. Normally you have a lot of hiccups, and now in this moment, because you have a direct communication with your head ref and the head ref on the fields with the side refs.
Pull him. Yeah, penalty.
Today, yesterday, we have 7 refs. They are split into, let's say, 2 groups. We have the group of the breakout wall refs, so it's 2 refs on either side. They do the breakouts, they stay on the back of the fights. And then we have 3 refs scattered around.
We can communicate real good now. We don't have to run to other refs for confirmation or anything. For example, the head ref, he can see much more because he's a bit higher up and he can direct us. It's really helpful to get more overview of the whole gameplay, and communicate for refs is also important as for players.
It's really comfy, it's so easy to use, and yeah, I don't know why we didn't use this earlier. It's amazing. It just makes the job way easier.